Effective time management strategies are crucial to pharmacy resident success. And in today's video, I'm giving you 3 tips that are going to help you drastically improve your time management skills. Tip number 1 is getting clear on deadlines. This one actually may be the best tip of all 3, and it sounds incredibly simple, but let me explain what happens so often to not just residents, but students and even pharmacists. I can't tell you how many times I was given a task and I bumped it up super high on my priority list because this preceptor told me they needed it. I pushed other things out of the way because I thought the way they explained it to me that this was the most important thing on my to-do list and I needed to get it done ASAP. But if I had actually asked them, when would you like this done? I would have discovered I had way more time than I thought I did, and there was absolutely no need to push aside the tasks that were already on my agenda for the day in order to complete this one. So here's my biggest recommendation. When you get assigned a new task from a preceptor or your RPD or whoever is assigning it, ask them, when would you like this back by? Sometimes you're going to find out that it is a priority and needs to be done in the next day or two, so you're going to have to move around some of the things that you were already hoping to do that week. It's just the nature of residency and patient care. But if you have more time, this gives you the flexibility to ask and move around deadlines. Here's what I mean by that. You're going to have deadlines on your calendar or things that have to happen at a certain date that are not going to be moved. For me, things like my grand rounds presentations, which was my continuing education presentations that I did, they weren't going to get moved. Those were set months in advance because we had to have the big conference room. Same thing goes for the presentations I did to the student pharmacist when I gave lectures at the School of Pharmacy. Those lectures were set on the syllabus and agenda. They were not moving. Those are the things that you're going to work around and ask to change deadlines if necessary. For example, there was one week during my residency where I had a lecture for the School of Pharmacy. It was an hour long and it was on Wednesday. And then on Friday, I had an hour-long CE Grand Rounds presentation. So when I started getting assigned things that were going to fall in that week, I tried to negotiate a little bit. So I had one project that my preceptor had asked for on that same Friday. And I said, I have these 2 lectures happening. I would really like time to prepare for them appropriately so I could practice my slides. Would it be possible for me to move that to Wednesday of next week? And she said yes. And had she said no, I would have done it and moved things around. But if you never ask, you're never going to get that opportunity and you're just going to leave yourself stressed out all year long trying to do these things that you think are immediate needs that may actually not be immediate needs. As a preceptor, I'm going to tell you that you need to do that ASAP. This makes sure it doesn't look like you have slacked off or put off the project and procrastinated and you're just asking for an extension because you couldn't get it done in that time frame. That's not what you're doing here. What you're doing here is setting yourself up for success in the beginning. If you are the one who is setting deadlines and you're having trouble getting stuff back, maybe from preceptors or somebody who you're working on a project with, I recommend sending them the email with the due date in your header. So you can put due February 27th at the end of the title of your email. That way, when they look at it, they know that it's a due date and they don't even have to go into that email to figure out when that was due. It's right there for them. It's a lot harder to miss. So even if they haven't opened the email and they're scrolling their inbox, they'll see, oh, I have something due on that date, and hopefully it gets to you. That's not always going to resolve the issue. You're not managing somebody else this time, but it is something that I have found to be extremely effective. Tip number 2 is to use a project management tool. When it comes to the amount of tasks and projects you're managing for residency, using something like Google Tasks to me just is not enough. So I went ahead and got an online project management platform. During residency, I used Trello, and I've used that for a while, but I recently switched to Asana. Both of them have free options, so you don't even have to pay for these. So for example, you may have your major project, lectures that you have to do, CE presentations, some sort of journal club or guideline review, all of those types of tasks. You can put templates in there so you remember all of the steps that you need to take after you've done it the first time. So if you do one CE lecture at the beginning of the year, you can add those task and then copy that as a template, so the next time you do one, you have a list of everything you need, grabbing your template, when you need to follow up with your preceptor, etc., 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 all in one place, and then you can assign dates to each of those individual tasks so they go on your calendar. This allows you to map out entire projects, or at least the pieces of the project that you know, and then you can add to it as you go. For example, you're not going to know all of the things for your major project when you start out, but you can add your big things, the deadlines and dates that you know are going to happen, into that project management tool so you don't miss them, and you can add some other tasks as you go along. I promise you, this is going to keep you so much more organized than just trying to do a to-do list of things as they come up. Not only did I use this in residency, but I also use it today to manage my projects, and it has been a huge lifesaver. And number 3 is time blocking. I've talked about it before on here, but time blocking was critical for me in residency. Since I use Trello in residency, that's what I used to do my time blocking. So I would go through and determine how much time a task was going to take, and I would put that at the end of the task, like in parentheses. So it would say review slides for presentation, and put in parentheses that was going to take me 45 minutes. And so I could block off the time that I needed for those tasks based on what I had put into Trello. So I knew about how long it was going to take based on what I've done in the past or how much I was estimating. You can also use whatever calendar software that you have, so Google Calendar or Microsoft Calendar. I would give you a little bit of a word of warning for using your Microsoft Calendar with work. If it's anything like my residency or even my job today, I get stuff added and removed from my calendar all the time. And if I'm trying to make it to where somebody can see when I'm open and available, if I were to time block every single thing onto my Microsoft Calendar, there's no way people are going to know when I'm available to move stuff around. So I would do it day by day in Trello, or I would do it on paper and just say, I have these tasks that I want to get done today. I've designated those in Trello. I'm going to write out, this is the time frames that I'm going to do them based on when my meetings are showing up on my Microsoft calendar for today. You're going to have to figure out your own system for this and be flexible. It'll depend on your program and how much stuff gets moved around. So I typically did my time blocking day by day in residency just because my schedule shifted so much. Like by Monday, what Friday said it was going to look like was usually totally different. So it made it easier for me to time block when I was doing one day at a time versus trying to do the whole week and then just moving my schedule around all the time because my schedule was changing. If you don't know how long a task takes, you need to figure that out. So monitor your time, monitor how long tasks take without interruptions or distractions, such as your phone, and that will help you immensely. And as you're going through this, don't forget to block out things like your self-care time, time to eat meals, workout time, and even your TV and relaxation time, because I know that if you don't block those things in, they just won't happen. If you found any of these tips helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and make sure you hit that subscribe button for more videos like this one coming your way. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all